All right. So you can clearly see the video that is directly in front of you. There's no need for an explanation because I don't even care for one because like I said, these are the things that I see all the time, right? You have women sitting up here fighting at an establishment. Obviously, it's a party or concert that's going on. They're just sitting up there swinging, dragging each other, pulling each other by the hair, right? So basically, they just got directly out of the house, got all their makeup done, got their hair done, just to literally go to another person's establishment just so they can have a knockout, knockdown, drag out, and all of this other type of stuff, and just put on a show for other people, right? To further perpetuate the things that people normally say about black people, right? And then you have a random guy that directly comes out of the crowd, or I think maybe he might have been on the right side with the other women. And then later walked over to the other group of women on the left side. Then he decides to pull one of the women by her hair, who was already in a fight with another woman, and trying to, like, I guess, drag her away. And then another woman comes out, and then she starts swinging on him, and then he basically starts swinging on her, and then he goes directly into the crowd. And then this is when you have other people basically saying some stuff to him in the crowd, and he basically ducks away, right? The main things that I want to point out here are this: when it comes to the fact of a man, like I said, I'm not sure what preference I'm not sure what preference he is. Um, but I do acknowledge, right, the fact that you do have a lot of straight males, right, who just so happen to want to swing, right, directly on women, or who want to fight, right, women. And then you have other men of other preferences who I've commonly seen, um, when it came to World Star Hip Hop, uh, Facebook, IG, Twitter, where they all the time they're always fighting with black women. So that's why I'm at the point of, like, I'm not even really sure where to specifically take that one because it can be an either or situation. Um, but the main thing about that is that at no point in time should that even take place. Like I said, at the end of the day, that was women fighting. Let them sit up there and fight. Let them do whatever it is that they're going to sit up there and do. Because even in instances where I've seen men, try to be men and be like, all right, you get her, I get her, we're just going to sit up there and pull them apart. Um, in those cases, women will start swinging on the guy, even though he's trying to do the right thing and break, the fight directly up. So, it pretty much at this moment in time, it's just a losing situation. It is a losing situation all over the place, because there were guys there that obviously could have stepped in and basically stopped that from taking place, meaning the guy intervening in a woman's fight and then later on pulling a woman by her hair and then striking that woman. There were a multitude of guys that were there that could have potentially did that. But like I said before, it's at a part in time now where magically everybody's gangster, right? And everybody magically got something on them. And everybody's like, is it really worth me getting involved? Because I don't know what might be in store for me after we get out of this club. Or I don't know what might be in store for me after I decide to drive away and go home and try to sleep peacefully. Right. So that's pretty much where we are at this moment in time when it comes to those scenarios. Now, for these scenarios with the women, I don't know what to sit up there and tell y'all no more, because when I brought videos that showcased women twerking in restaurants, you had some black women out there that wanted to sit up there and get mad. Stop telling black women this, stop telling black women that, all this other type of stuff. You had black women sitting up there twerking on cop cars and at police protest. You had black women sitting up there, a black woman sitting up there twerking at the Martin Luther King memorial somewhere in, like, Washington D.C., and that was for women empowerment and for Black Lives Matter. Right? You had all of this stuff where black women's bodies were being pushed directly out there to the forefront. It wasn't by men, it was done by women, right? And supposedly for women, right? So now we're at this crossroads here where you have women going out to clubs fighting other women over nonsense. And can a man sit up there and tell women to stop fighting? Nope. Why? Because a man has no right to sit up there and tell a woman what to do. What black men need to sit up there and do is worry about the problems that black men continuously do, the crimes that black men continuously perform, and all of the negative things that they do to the black community and to black women and to black children. Right? That's, some of the same things that I've always seen and also gotten thrown directly in my direction. So I'm just waiting for a time that black women are actually going to step up and they're going to stop a lot of this nonsense where you go to parties and you see women fighting. You go to clubs and you see women fighting. You go to concerts and you see women fighting. You're at a restaurant and you see women fighting. You at a parking lot of a store and you see women fighting. So I'm waiting for a point in time where black women are actually going to get that under control, which I'm not really sure if that's actually going to take place. Like I as a man can sit up there and have a talk with some young men who, are in, high school or whatnot or whatever. And, hopefully my words might have like an effect. But at the end of the day, if people want to do what they want to do, that's in a sense what they're going to, sit up there and do. But for this to be some type of a thing or a part of the culture that is a normalcy, that's ridiculous to me. I like over my 20-year period of, watching stuff online, 20 plus year period actually. That's mainly what I've seen. On top of the fact of just being out there in public, watching girls at high school just sit up there and fight, looking at weave and braids and all types of stuff all over the floor, shorts, shirts and clothes being torn apart and all of this other type of stuff. And then after that fight is done, you got other girls that are friends with those girls. Now they want to sit up there and start fighting, and it's now an even larger fight. Like I said before, like this nonsense is like it's ridiculous. But like I said before, these are the things that when it comes to detrimental things that take place in the black community, these are some of the things that black women don't want to talk about because how the media, when it comes to, black women putting the news and different stuff out there, they like to make it though it seem is that black women are just perfect, like black women do no wrong. Nothing happens. All the detrimental stuff that basically takes place 100% in the black community just strictly comes from black men. Black women do nothing. Young black girls don't do nothing. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. If we have problems in the black community, we need to be looking at every single problem and fixing every single problem. So, women, if there's obviously problems, where people cannot get their emotional faculties in order, where women are acting like unstable creatures. Yo, y'all need to sit up there and get together, kumbaya it out or whatever it is, and y'all need to figure that out. Because what's going to happen is that your daughters are going to do the exact same behavior for black men, the exact same thing that we've had conversations about a multitude of times. Even I've had conversations with older black men from a previous, far gone generation, and they've basically talked to us about fighting and being in gangs and selling drugs and different things of that nature. Like I said, everything that a lot of black men have told me over time, I've kept with me, and it helped me become the black man that I am at this moment in time, all due to those black men that came before me. So I know how important these conversations are. I know how important, these talks are, and, and people trying to intervene or interject themselves, right, in a positive light, trying to diffuse the situation. So, like I said, from both angles, like this is the things that need to take place. But obviously, black men have been doing this, but it's like it's a little bit tough because you got a multitude of things, working against you. But it's not in the same effect where it is black women. Y'all don't have a whole field of things working against you, trying to get other black women to stop hating and stop loving and to fight, black women. Y'all can stop a lot of that technically, like I pretty much feel like in a year or something like that. Where it is when it comes to like black men, it's going to take way more work to really get that, down and in a sense like snuffed out. But that's pretty much it though. Let me know what you guys think about, the video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.